Mr. Byron, welcome back to your second follow-up, the first person to be on the follow-up channel twice. And I'm excited about this one because last time we were making some kind of progress in terms of you were starting to max out your Roth IRA. We were getting some good investing going, mostly S&P 500, but 8% was in Meta. But the debt was kind of staying about the same, and that's what we really wanted to start making progress on. You were one of the first videos uploaded on the follow-up channel back in May, so we're getting kind of we had a mid-year update. Now we're getting an end-of-year update. So last time we still had our student loans, we had an auto loan, one credit card, and then our checking account was only at 1,000. Savings that started to get boosted up, 8,001, and then in a high yield we had almost 4,000. And then investments, we got to that 18, the Roth outs, what was awesome, and then the 401k at 20. The immediate actions, this is what we had. Cut back and save up as much as possible for the next few months. Then going and really building out a budget, try to get from a 3-month emergency fund to a 6-month emergency fund. Minimum monthly payments on the student loans while investing the rest. Then minimum monthly payment on the auto loan is fine as well, mostly because it's a low interest rate. We were sitting at 3.75%. So of the credit card that was there, it looked like it was mostly being paid off. And then retirement investments was keeping up the good work, and we upgraded you to a Hammer financial score of 4.5 out of 10. Cool? Does that sound about right?
Yep. Yep, that's what I remember.
Now, I had you at income of $71,000. Is that about the same?
Yeah, it's right now I got a raise of 74, and probably I make like 85 after like mileage and overtime and stuff like that.
Wow. Very good. Very good. And what do you do?
I'm a field service engineer for power plants and refineries and boilers, doing boiler work.
Love it. Getting out there, getting dirty. Good. All right. Yep. Let's take a look at this. Shall we? Shall we see where you're at? Or actually, what has changed, if you want to just give us a rundown in life. What has changed? Life, money. What are we doing?
So I moved. I'm kind of living in like a storage unit now. It's actually in a pretty nice place, studio apartment that's converted from a storage unit facility. It's $1,200 a month for rent and utilities, so it's like a $300 reduction from where I was staying. But right now I'm just trying to save up for a house, like my main goal. Moving in with my girlfriend, so it's gonna
because that was one of the
spending.
That was one of the talking points last time. You were you moved out from the girlfriend. Your rent went up, but you were actually kind of bored living alone, right?
Yeah, we wanted to live alone for like 2 years. Oh, actually, it was like a year at first, but then she wanted to move somewhere. I didn't want to move the same place, so we just decided to move like 10, 15 minutes away from each other. And now we're going to make the full leap again.
Okay. What's going to be different this time than it was last time?
I think a big thing is like both of our standards of living. So like I'm a lot more laid back, but she's the kind of person that wants everything like neat and organized. She's got pets, so you can't leave stuff around. And I was kind of a slob living with my parents, so when I went from living with my parents to living with her, it was kind of like it stressed her out the way how like messy things were.
Yeah.
But in my perspective, it wasn't that messy, so it was kind of like growing up a little bit and you know, making sure the dishes are done and things are swept and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
That's not really financial.
No, but everything is in the end. You know, people sometimes ask on the main channel, why is there so much talk about all this stuff and not just the numbers? Because everything comes back to finances typically, especially in our society. It really does. When it comes to the relationships, a lot of that can get tied back to money if that means where we're living, what our rent ends up being. Sometimes coping mechanisms leads to different kinds of spending. Sometimes different relationships lead to something with the vehicle, you know, and that can be into spending and then retirement, or other people dependent on your retirement. Like everything kind of leads back to it, especially in our culture. So I think it's important to get a full rounded picture. Now, balance, credit card, Blue Cash, basically paid off every single month, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, credit card person, love seeing it. No interest being charged. That's absolutely wonderful. Now, spending, do you think it's cut back? Because I'm seeing a lot of spending here, and there's subscriptions, there's going to Firehouse subs, and you know, a lot of different things, pubs and whatnot. There's a lot of spending through here. 3 Steam purchases in a row. Great, fantastic, wonderful. How do we feel? Has spending cut back? Where are we looking with spending?
I feel like spending cut back to what I set for the allocation. So I take my needs of like, I think they're 2,900, 3,000 if you include the insurance that, or 3,100 if you include the insurance that's annualized. And then I take that in every paycheck, I cut that in half. So it's 1,500 per paycheck. And then I take what's remaining, I take half of that and put it to fund, and half of that and I put it to investing or saving. Or
if you're like any of our follow-up guests, finally reaching a good financial place, imagine how crushing it would be to lose all of that progress overnight. This year's been a wild ride for data breaches. Down 3.9 million customers' records slipped through the cracks, and Ticketmaster over 560 million. But the biggest shock, national public data exposed 2.9 billion records. Yes, billions with personal details like names, addresses, phone numbers, and most importantly, social security numbers. Now picture this. You've worked hard to save money, tackle debt, and rebuild your finances. Then one day you find out someone used your social security number to open credit cards, take out loans in your name, or even empty out an emergency fund you worked so hard to build. If you want to protect your progress, meet today's sponsor, Aura. Aura monitors billions of data points across the internet, even the dark web, to keep an eye out for you and your personal information. If anything suspicious pops up, Aura sends you a real-time alert. When your personal data is secure, your finances are protected as well, and Aura makes sure that both stays that way. Aura also comes packed with tools to keep you protected. You get a VPN for safe browsing, a password manager to help lock down your accounts, and a data broker opt-out service so companies stop profiting off your personal details. And if something does go wrong, Aura has your back with up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. Fixing your finances takes hard work, and leaving them unprotected is a mistake. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches, and if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/financial audit to try 2 weeks for free. That will be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. Thanks to Aura for sponsoring this video. Now let's jump back into the follow-up. Why that? Like, that's not usually the recommended build out. Usually it's like, okay, we try to make sure we're at least hitting 20% to investing, and then what's left over we can have for fun. And if you're cutting back, you're not cutting back from investing, you're cutting back from living, the lifestyle within your needs. Maybe you can have a cheaper rent or something like that. But hopefully that still comes down to 20% is going to investing. Is it?
It should. Yeah, because I contribute 5% to my 401k, so then it matches 5%, so that's like 10% right there. And then normally my take home is like 4,500, 4,600. So if I need 3,000, then 800 should be going to investing plus the whatever the 5% is, plus the 5% match. I can't do the 50, 30, 20 because my living expenses are a little bit higher than 50% of my
is that going to change?
Pay. Yeah, when I move in with my girlfriend, it should go down from 1,200 rent down to probably around like 800 rent.
And then you guys might split groceries and stuff as well and some of the ongoing needs.
Yeah.
Utilities and whatnot.
Yeah.
What did you say hits your account on a monthly basis from pay?
Base is 4,400, but on average, probably about 4,700.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're already at 17% in that case then being invested after your 401k already. So good. You're getting close to almost like 25% with a match. Okay. So these purchases then, not necessarily a bad thing. We need to see what the emergency fund looks like before we determine that completely. Well, let's see. Again, it seems like less spending than last time. I am happy to see that. Access Gold Card. This is always paid off, right? Well, I see some pay over time charges,
yep.
But there's 0%.
I don't think there's. Where are they called?
Pay overtime charges plus $879. Looks like most of it was Best Buy. $739 there.
That should have been the payout, right? That was just a monitor. That was $700. So.
Well, make sure you go pay that then.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because pay over time looks like it's at 24.74% interest. You don't want to get... And you've had $325 of fees this year so far on this card, by the way. Is that the
it's my
annual fee?
It's the opening fee.
Oh, opening fee? Okay. And then over the pay over time, you also had the Laundry Basket, Museum of Science, and PulseWorks. I don't think you're intending for that to be pay over time, but they're all under pay over time.
That might just be an option that I don't think I've made the first payment on that card. I just opened it, so.
Well, make sure you take care of that and
my
get that
next
managed,
paycheck.
right? We don't want to end up in a position where you have to completely negate any benefits you get from this, right? Because you're a credit card person, you need to really stay on top of it. Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
You definitely want to get benefits because that fee of opening, you're really going to need to milk it for all it's worth, but you got to be really responsible to do that. Okay, so auto loan, pretty much the same as it was last time, right? Oh, wait, indirect auto, right?
Yep.
So we went down from 9 to 7, 9.4 to 7.7. Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
But same interest as it was last time, right? 3.7, haven't touched it.
Yeah, it just.
Yeah.
I think it's minimum payments plus a little bit to get to 300.
No need to. When is matures 2027. So 2 more years. Well, 2.5. It's July 2027. It sucks to have a minimum monthly payment that long, but man, I really want you to start maximizing everything else. This is okay. Okay, Mohila. This is the student loans. Okay. Have we touched these? Has anything happened here? It's gone down about 1,300.
Yeah, same with those are minimum. They're
Yep.
all 4.5% lower.
Yeah. Okay. Which makes sense for me. Checking just about the same as it was last time, about 1,005. Got some subscriptions in here, moving money back and forth. I think a rental potentially, and then some Venmo as well. Okay. Okay, now personal savings. So you determine you need 3,100 for needs. So if we determine that, we need about 18,600 in savings for a 6-month emergency fund. I am seeing in here 10,283. 2.
Yeah. Right now there's probably around 13,000.
Okay.
Plus another $1,000 account for car needs.
Well, I'm confused. Why have we not fully maxed that out, even though it's been quite a few months and you're still spending a lot of money? That was our first priority. Why not do that? I don't understand.
I think I just went slower.
But why?
I do. Well, I feel like 4 months is enough to kind of live on. 6 months is a pretty long time to not have a job.
Huh? Well, you don't know. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. You don't know. It's not just about getting laid off. An emergency fund means it covers all emergencies. You don't know what will happen medically, family, who knows? And now you have kind of a significant other as well. I know you guys aren't fully packaged, but you never know. Emergency fund is for emergencies. It's not a laid off fund. It's not an unemployment fund. It's an emergency fund. You don't know what's going to happen, buddy. If you get laid off, you've been paying unemployment tax, so you are going to be able to qualify for unemployment. You know, there's disability and things like that, but there are other things that happen throughout life, and we want to make sure we can cover it. This was the first step. I put it there as the first step in your situation for a reason. Don't set yourself up in a dangerous situation. There's no need to. I don't get it. Your spending was better, and I'm okay with some BS spending with your situation. But honestly, again, I would still, instead of fully going almost 23% of your income towards investing, maybe do your match and then throw everything else towards the emergency fund, max it out real quick because you can, and then start boosting that investment. You got time. How old are you again?
25.
Yeah. We want to get it early. Absolutely. Like, get that emergency fund. It's not even a question.
Okay.
Getting so enraged not seeing fully funded emergency funds that I get hiccups. Other savings 500. Okay, American Express savings 13,000. So wait, is this different? No, is it the same thing?
That's a screenshot of that statement you see is from I think September.
So you're just
Most
showing me at
recent one.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
Robinhood 2,000. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you
Yeah,
took it
Robinhood's
out.
actually drained now. Yeah, that's why I put into the emergency fund because
Good.
I figured there's not really any use having. I was in some stupid stocks anyway.
Instead of having a fully funded emergency fund. Good. Investments, Roth IRA. Looks like nothing much here. Just kind of riding some growth. It's gone up about $4,000 to 22. Then Vanguard. Yeah, from 20 to 26. So this is just continuing those ongoing contributions into your 401k and taking the match.
Yeah.
All right, so man,
Yeah, those
let
are
me
skyrocketed and everything else is kind of flatlined.
the markets have been doing well, man. I mean, honestly, they've been doing well for what, 2 years now? It's been good, and then post-election, It went real. But, man, your philosophy. I understand what you said, but please, so I can just understand a little bit more, you think 6 months is too long to find a job. You'll be able to find a job between. Give me the philosophy on why you are putting money everywhere else, including fun, instead of having a 6-month emergency fund and making yourself have a 4.
So my philosophy is that if I were to go balls to the wall and save, all my money aside from what I need for, rent and, company match, which already gets taken out, then I feel like I would get burnt out, because that's what I did a few years ago. I just went crazy, and I went from 0 to 10,000 in about 4 months. And I was happy that I had that amount of money, but at the same time, I was a little bit depressed, because I was just kind of like foregoing a lot of experiences, like going out to drinks, friends, and stuff like that. So, and now I feel like I have a safety net. Like, I don't really feel like there's a lot of fire underneath my, and it's not that bad, but I feel like if I were to go crazy, then I would definitely burn out. And
I'm not saying go crazy, man. What I suggested before earlier in this conversation already was literally just taking away from what you're throwing into your Roth, That's all I suggested, just getting you there faster. Let's see, 4,700 comes in on a monthly basis. That's post contribution to 401k and post match. So that's already going things. Let's give you $600 for fun. Let's call it that. Lots of experience in that case. You need $5,000. You get a $5,500 left on a monthly basis. Okay, what math do we got here? So you don't burn out. That takes you just over 3 months. Come on, man. From May to now, you could have done it easily. Almost times 2. Pretty darn close. So you don't have to burn out. $600 on fun is a lot of fun. Do I spend $600 a month on fun? I definitely have lots of subscriptions because I can afford it. I'm just trying to think. The restaurants me and my friends go to, Jake, producer back there, is one of my close friends. We're in a friend group here. Every once in a while we go out to eat, but I feel like, Jake, what did you say? We just kind of go to bullshit fast food places, don't we?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, we don't even that's why I'm fat. But that's what we don't even $600 is so much you can spend. You go to a concert. I was looking at going to my wife Sabrina Carpenter's concert, and even getting a last minute ticket I could have fit in there. And she's famous, and then you have a fully funded emergency fund in 3 months, and then you can keep blasting your investments out, buddy. Come on. Can you do that? Can you do that for not just me, but for actually you?
Yeah, I can do that. And I think my big thing too is not so much going out and doing the experience stuff, but it's I see something online, or I work a long job that's 2 weeks, 6/12s, and then I come back and I'm like, you know what, I want a nice new monitor, and then I buy this $700 monitor. So I'll do
you could do that, but only once a month.
Yeah, so I gotta limit myself. I got a whiteboard that has all the stuff that I spend on it, so I try and keep it underneath what I allocated for myself. But
keep it at 600.
Probably cut down back,
buddy. $600 on fun for 3 months. According to the needs you gave me, you could have a fully funded max out emergency fund in 3.3 months. It's the most simple sacrifice you can make. I'm giving you $600 of fun. Come on.
I can do that. But I also did have a question regarding the Roth IRA.
Sure.
So I'm looking to purchase a home, and I did the math, and if I cut back on needs to a great extent, or cut back on wants to a great extent, I could probably save up a $40,000 down payment, which would be about 20%, in about 4 years. But there's another path I saw that in 2 years, if I wanted to save up $50,000 for a slightly bigger house or more land, I could do the withdraw from the Roth, which would be tax-free or penalty-free, and use that as a down payment. And I'm not sure if the appreciation of not having to pay rent, and also the appreciation of the property would be worth losing out on 8 to 10% growth.
I get the reason why we have that as an option for first-time home buyers, because you would be first-time, correct? Just to confirm.
Yep.
Yeah. Listen, it's there. It's not the first option I'd pick because, again, what you are having is the absolute most incredible foundation for compound growth over the next 4 decades of your life. You know, it's delicious. So what I would rather do still, I mean, just from May when we uploaded your first follow-up, you already have had a pay increase. What I would just be doing is try to keep our life steady, and every time we get a pay increase, more and more of that just goes towards the home. You're going to have a fully funded emergency fund. You're going to be contributing to, you can cut back on your contribution a little to retirement because you're already getting almost, 10% before it hits your account. So just an additional 10% from there. Like, you don't need to be doing more than you already are. You're doing 15 separately after the contributions, getting you almost to 25 total. So we don't need to be doing 25. So take that 5%, throw that towards the home fund. And even still, after that 5% of the 2,700, or sorry. Okay, so 10%, sorry, 4,700, 10% of that is 470. Can't believe I had to do the math on that. 470, and then minus your needs of 3,100, which is actually going to go lower. You still have 1,130 left over after your investments and needs. So, dude, give yourself $400 of fund from that, giving yourself an extra $700, just about $700. You want to do 4 years, 700 times 12 times 4. I mean, you'll have $33,600 saved up. And if that's in the high yield savings or something, you know, it's going to, maybe that's like 35 at that point. So you're pretty darn close to that point. I would really try to do everything in our power to not take. I know it's there for first time home buyers, you know, penalty free for a reason, but let's just try to avoid it, man, because you're just really, let's not take away our base for what is going to be an incredible retirement because you've been so good at starting early, okay? And listen, home is an investment as well. If we're contributing, I'm okay with you contributing 15% to investing, giving you an extra, you know, a couple $100 a month to go towards this, getting to maybe $40,000 in that 4 years, okay? So if you're doing 10% from your contributions and match before the money hits your account, and then you're only doing an extra 5% towards like a Roth IRA, I'm okay with that because saving up for a home is an investment. It's okay to take away from your other investments just to get that. So I would do that.
Okay.
Maybe 15% to investment, only 5% coming from your net. Yeah, because that's a great goal. Let's just try to do everything in our power, even if that means extending an extra 6 months or a year, everything in our power to prevent taking from the foundation you have, because you can have an incredible retirement and you have no idea the amazing foundation that you have already built. But reminder, by the time you get to 30, because of where your income is, I mean, what's your total annual?
Probably 85.
You want to be to 85,000 by the time you're 30. So we got to get there. Okay.
Okay.
And you're on the path to get there, to having a good retirement, not if you take away from it, okay? So that's my thoughts. Get that fully funded emergency fund immediately, 3.5 months. Your living's going to be a bit cheaper soon. Your needs, you can cut back to like $400, $500 a month, and you can cut back your retirement a little, save up for this home, and you should be able to do it while living your life.
So 400 to once, you said 5% towards the Roth, and then keep the 10%, or I guess 5% with match.
Yeah.
And then
this is after you hit your fully funded emergency fund in 3.3 months.
Okay. Is that 5% a take home?
Yeah.
5%. All right, and then 401.
It's close enough. It's making it work. You're still hitting the steady of where we want to get.
Yeah, I've been trying to max out the Roth really, and then every paycheck doing 300 towards it, which would get you at the 6,500.
Yeah.
But I think that's why, on top of what, you know, spending, why my non-retirement assets have just kind of flatlined ever since like a year ago.
Yeah, sure.
So I need to make sure I don't, if I put less into the Roth, I don't spend more towards fun. I just gotta really keep myself accountable in that aspect.
Absolutely. You got this, man. You got this. If we meet again, well, we will meet again, but when we meet again, if you don't have a fully funded emergency fund, I am going to punch through the screen and hit your face.
All right.
All right, sir. Let's get you an updated Hammer financial score. So last time we got you... Funda. Last time we had you at a 4 out of 10. Spending in a budget, because you're not putting it towards the emergency fund, the spending is bad. If you had the fully funded emergency fund, I wouldn't consider the spending as bad, but it is better than before. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Got to get that emergency fund. Your debt, I'd say it's still a 6 out of 10. Hasn't really changed. There is risk. However, still just mathematically, and with my tolerance of risk, I'm okay with minimum monthly payments, so those are paid off. Emergency fund, better than a 5 out of 10. You're almost there, so you moved up from a 5 to about a 7 out of 10. Retirement, 8 out of 10. Yes, you're on track. If you don't touch it, you're still on track. You're still at about an 8 out of 10. Real estate, 0 out of 10. So, hammer. Financial score. Moving on up, buds. Moving on up. Going from a 4.5 to a 5.5. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to check out our budgeting, investing, and our debt course all bundled together for 25% off. Literally 10,000 people have taken it, and they have changed their lives, and you can too. I'll see you all in the next one.